17 a.m. And it's a first for us here on this program. Well, it's kind of a first for us here on this
Physically
program.
first.
Physically first, all right? So, yeah. Should I do it? Let me stop. Let me hit myself.
No,
Good
no, I don't
morning.
know what you were going to say, but whatever it was,
Don't say
because
it.
some divine intervention came and was like, Roleza, listen to the chip on your shoulder, the white one.
Oh, Lord. All right. So, good morning, SVG. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And there are two female voices.
Is
On
this the first?
morning. It is the first, I think.
Yesterday
Was kind of,
the first.
Yeah.
But has
we
there
don't
ever been?
We don't count training. Training doesn't count.
No, but technically, it has not been like 100% female.
Nah.
Since last
Woman
October.
Rule the world. Say we are here this morning because we run the world.
Is that what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
No, but it's now that you mention it, I'm trying to think back to.
We tell everybody good morning, by the way.
Good morning, everyone. Manners.
Yes, manners indeed.
All right, everybody at home, and the rest of the region and the rest of the world listening to WEFM 99.9. The number to call 4579997 if you want to join in. The number to WhatsApp 4579997. So I'm thinking back, so I would have worked solo for some time.
Cause say it ain't fun, but anyhow.
But to have like a female co-host alone, nah.
So you're saying we should tell Ari go on vacation a little bit more often?
No. I'm just saying, like,
morning,
when you look at good morning, Ari, when you look at the market, the media market, even in entertainment, it's predominantly male. The chances of having two female co-hosts alone on a morning program are like very slim, but here we are.
And that's the thing. I actually looked at it recently and I always wonder what is the reason behind it. Why is it that we don't have more female announcers around?
I'm not too certain, but I think maybe it's a social thing. So it is more difficult for a woman, especially morning radio, especially if you're a parent.
True.
To hold on this kind of job, because if it's the first shift of the morning, you have to get in here like 6 o'clock.
Yes, please.
And how do you, if the man in the home, if there's a man in the home, right? If the man in the home, he is leaving for work as well for 8, then he would have to take up the responsibility of taking care of the child or children. And I don't want to say most, but we hear a lot about homes where there's just the mother or just the father and the child or children. So maybe that's one of the reasons. Maybe the second reason is, I don't know if men make it difficult for women to want to enter the industry. There are some men, and I'm going to be like really honest, there are some men who are subliminally misogynistic and sometimes make the environment a bit toxic. Some men, few and far between, but maybe for some people, if it's just one experience, they're not really going to be
they won't stamp it as a norm.
But they won't be encouraged to let me come back because it's just too difficult. Maybe interest, maybe it is that women are not generally interested in it because we tend to be a little bit gentler, and the culture tends to be, well, I'm supposed to be the gentler of the two, but anyways, you find that within the culture of morning radio, it's like it comes across as like rough and rugged, and you have to be like,
I suppose, and the thing of it, you have to know how to stand your ground. And I mean, I guess it depends on your personality as well, because like for you and I, we're very vocal. No matter who it is we're talking to, we're very vocal. So I guess, part of it also has to do with knowing how to stand up for yourself, to speak up for yourself. In some ways, not backing down, and in some ways knowing when to let go as well. So
I mean, I think that what you just said kind of goes to both genders, but women have to do it a little bit more. Space might be another limited factor because it's already saturated
in a sense.
Nobody is leaving, like where else is there? But it doesn't mean all these things are being said, doesn't mean that women shouldn't try. and be encouraged to enter the media industry.
I would actually like to hear more female voices, especially on morning radio, because I think sometimes our opinions aren't noted in terms of our side or the way in which we would bring a difference to our discussion. It's not necessarily always heard, so yeah, but that's what it is. So that's our very long way of saying good morning to everybody. We are here.
Make up to, was it 3 female announcers on morning radio?
There's Jill,
and you and I.
Oh, that's it. What a wow.
She's like, who's the other two?
Wow.
There are other female announcers on radio that do not work in the morning unless they have to like fill in for somebody else's shift. And I'm racking my brain to make sure that I don't give out false information. Looking through like mentally all the radio stations. Right? I may miss a female for the morning, and if I do, y'all could just hit me up. Morning, Ari with his 2 eyes on the live. Good morning to the folks on the live. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at WEFM 99 SVG. All right, so wow, funnily, that was like a whole topic by itself. But so quite a number of things happened while we were last here. So let's get to a couple of them.
All right, you have them there.
All right, so the first things first. Let me say congratulations to the Grenadines. Yesterday was the primary school inter-school sports, and today will be the secondary. Next week, we're going to see college. But congratulations to Stephanie Brown, a primary school in Union Island. And they placed first with a total of 181 points. Coming in second was Kingston Preparatory School with 180 points. 1 point separated the two. Unlike yesterday's interview, I don't think they'll be calling for a recount. Behave yourself.
It's not me to behave. I properly behaved. You
exhaled. In third position was the Canmon Government School with 158 points. So congratulations. I could just imagine the welcome that the students will have. Oh my gosh.
And you know what it is for me with those 2 schools though, is I guess to some extent we don't necessarily think of the Grenadine schools in terms of having the same sporting fields that we may have in terms of coaches, etc. up here. I think sometimes I'm not sure if it is a fact, but we tend to think of them not being as quote unquote developed in a sense as mainland in terms of the sporting facilities, coaches, availability of coaches, etc. So I mean, maybe that has happened, and this is what has allowed them to be so successful. So I think having them come up, to mainland, they have to travel and all of that sort of thing, and they're not in their own comfort zone in a sense, and to have done so well, it's very commendable to them.
Yeah. It could also be maybe the support, because they have some serious camaraderie that some other schools and even outside of the schools that people could really emulate and look up to. So kudos to you guys, and congratulations and all the best for the rest of the school term. Today's secondary. So big up to all the athletes who will be taking part in various events, field and track today. Past GHS students, so I have a slight bias.
Inter-school sports was such a big thing back in the day. I wonder, does it still have the same feel?
Maybe they gallivanting after. For most people.
Yeah, I don't know. Because it almost hit me, and I guess maybe because I'm not a part of the school system anymore. But it kind of slipped me that even these activities were happening. But yeah it did. It did. I don't think I heard ads or anything. Or maybe I've just been out of sync with a lot with things. But I didn't really hear much about it. I saw a cute ad yesterday though, on API, an ad with, I think the students are from Brighton. And the girls are sassy as ever. They were giving reasons and encouraging persons to come out to the events and so forth. But it's a really cute ad. It had me smiling the entire way. So yeah.
So it's happening at St. Vincent Beach Stadium in Diamond. And maybe they could take a couple pages out of the houses. Remember during GHS Sports, the sort of build up to their actual no, why am I forgetting it? There was a competition for the assembly, so every house had to do an assembly. So they lead up to that. They could take a couple pages out of that and see where it goes. Marketing goes a long way. I'm looking forward to see what the Leeward
Central Leeward
athletes are gonna do on the track today. They bring a lot of excitement. Big up yourselves. Unfortunately, in some not so good news, we're gonna go to the Windward side. Good morning to all we are and surrounding areas. Quite unfortunate that the recreational facility so they were hit by a fire. Well, that's a weird way to say it, but there was a fire last night at the Oya Salt Pond facility, and we would have seen some videos on social media. Quite unfortunate indeed. Destroyed the entire building.
Yeah, and I think the stories made mention of there being an opening of let's see what the story says, if I can pull this up very quickly. All right, so on One Simmons News, a fire broke out at the Oya Salt Pond Recreational Park last night, just hours before the official opening ceremony of the rehabilitation and restoration of the Darby Falls Recreation Park and the Oya Salt Pond Recreational Park project. A building at the Oya Salt Pond Recreational Park has been gutted by fire. Right, the ceremony by the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority in collaboration with the SVG Conservation Fund was scheduled for 11 a.m. for today at the Oya Recreational Park. The closing ceremony was to mark the successful rehabilitation of the park, which was severely affected by ashfall from the 2021 explosive eruptions of the La Soufrière volcano. All right, so the cause of the fire is unknown. There have been no reports of injury to anyone, and the exact extent of the damage is also unknown. But residents at the scene said the vending kiosk has been affected. All right, so
yeah, they had a little bar there too. Oya Salt Pond is actually very nice. I hate the steps, but
no, I have always said Oya Salt Pond is my favorite place to go in Vincy. And to be able to sound a little bit morbid. I've always wondered whether or not I wanted to be buried or cremated. But I said if I'm cremated, I want my ashes to be thrown from a particular rock. Because they have such deep swells over there. So I'm listening. I just want to be pitched right into the sea.
At Oya Salt Pond.
From Oya Salt Pond. So I'd probably put it in writing when I've made up my mind what it is I want to do with my. But no, I absolutely love it because I've always loved wave action. I love to see wave action. So I think when you look at it's just so impressive and so majestic to me that I've always had a love for Oya Salt Pond. Mind you, I can't swim to save my life. But I do have a love of the sea.
You can't be a Vinci and not know how to swim.
Yeah, listen to me. When I was in Trinidad, they always used to have these Trini say, but you're from these small islands and you don't know how to swim. And I'm like, listen to me. I do not. It doesn't matter. I could float to save my life, but I can't swim.
We gotta get releasing some swimming lessons. Okay?
Yeah, we had to get a lot of Vincent and some swimming lessons. I think that
we're too small. Too small.
No, I don't know. I think there's always been this fear of my foot not being able to touch. It's interesting because I would float, but I would not learn how to swim. Like I could float, okay, but not swimming.
Well, that's the first start, right? Somebody says Joshua says on the live, very suspicious. Well, until we get the official report on what caused the fire, because they're gonna have to do some investigations, we would know if it's malicious intent
or maybe something electrical, because if they were looking to open it today, then maybe something was
maybe they set up something
not wired properly or whatever, something blew or something, so we'd probably wait to see what it is. But I don't want to believe that anyone would maliciously set fire to the Oya. Well, any of these sites.
Oh, the sites.
Any of these sites. I don't want to believe that.
Because they burnt billboards twice.
Billboards?
So the people will...
I'm going to be nice.
Maybe so. But I find... Okay, so now we have to find money again to rebuild the structure. Obviously, it's going to be closed for a little bit, so people would not be able to go. It's just so inconvenient, and I hope it's by natural. They say natural misfortune. That it was something electrical, that was not caused by a human. So no human error, because that'll be really
well, if it's electrical, it
distasteful.
might be human error.
But no overload. But okay, so if somebody forgot something plugged
if it wasn't checked properly,
jeez, I'm proud.
Yeah. Right. So we'll leave it at there until actual report comes out in terms of stating what was the cause for the fire.
I heard in the video they were talking about like alcohol in the, so they were like listen for the like Pop explosions and stuff.
Okay.
So maybe it was like the bar.
Oh, it's interesting.
But yeah, they have a little thing out there, you know. Oh, they're nice, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. So we are going to take a break at this time. Up next will be our traffic talk. So stay tuned for that.